Alright, what's up, yins guys? Time for another video. And ever since I saw this on the TV news, I wanted to do a video on it. A YouTuber from Ohio, and Ohio ain't very far from me. And this is not to bash any of these YouTubers that got caught exploring, but yeah, the Century 3 Mall has been on the news a lot of times. Yeah, the group of YouTubers that got busted for being in there. And anyway, I'm going to say this is not to bash or attack these people that got in trouble, but I will say I love the exploring YouTube videos, exploring with so and so, very informative videos, many different kinds of buildings that were still standing, that should have been demolished. A lot of different kind of buildings besides malls, that the buildings and those exploring videos actually go hand in hand with stuff that other stuff I like to look at and talk about, because of different eras in time. I'm just going to say just that because I'm trying to stop myself from going on and on off the subject. But yeah, a lot of stuff that I can go off the subject about, that these exploring with YouTubers are very wonderful. And I will say one thing though, what I like about the videos is to explore and explain everything. I love the stuff that alleged paranormal stuff, or the alleged all kind of stuff that went on in other buildings other than malls. I like the explanations and showing of artifacts and all kind of goings on, stuff like that. To be honest, and I'm not bashing these guys that got caught per se, but I prefer in YouTube videos not to look at, say, anybody with exploring videos, like doing stupid childish shit, like, you know, shooting bow and arrows at things. I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but really, I regard as a turnoff. I'm just being honest. It's not really what I prefer to look at as far as the exploring with videos. And I'm also going to say too, I do actually stuff in my own YouTube that it's on locations that I'd like to do more of in my YouTube, based on some things that I'm not going to go off the subject. And at one time I was out of work, right, and I took some video production. I really should have took the multimedia stuff that the other people were doing, instead of the stupid coding shit and web design and Visual Basic and Java crap, you know what I mean? The reason being because I had a couple multimedia classes that were supposedly required that I took, and I got into it and owed student loans, and I would rather do the multimedia. Well, that relates because of other things that I didn't know I'd end up doing, right? But anyway, what they taught me, well, that's one of the teachers, I guess, because they got to tell you this, because we actually did a group music video and had a band once, and did a video as part of our assignment, interacting for our thing. And my point here is, oh, of course, because the teachers are going to have to tell you this for a lot of good reasons. They stressed that if you're going to go outside their college, they kind of told us, get the proper permissions, and that was part of what we took in one of our classes. I was telling my partner this shit every time, talking her to death about this stuff when stuff makes the news. And I have done other videos of other locations. There is some stuff that you can get busted for trespassing. So when I went to college and we took these classes, some of our teachers did told us. And yes, we did a location video for an assignment when I was in college, and yes, they did get the permission and stuff. You really should. And I imagine a lot of these other YouTubers that did these exploring with so-and-so, they took, some of them got permission from the proper people, and some of them probably did take risks. And if you got this far in this video, I'll talk about one of my favorites. We had a place that was called Dixmont, that it's actually still on YouTube before it got tore down. And there were people that explored it. If you're interested in that and you got this far in this video, yeah, Dixmont was actually an asylum, and they even had their own morgue and everything else, and the building is gone, but there's some surviving YouTube footage. It's very interesting. Anyway, whether it's alleged paranormal and maybe some facts of what things used to be, I mean, yeah, I'm into that shit, and I do my own videos that ain't really exploring with, but sometimes it was places that I worked next to, or in a lot of cases, locations I used, there was nobody could really get me in any real trouble for doing any of my videos that I used music for. You know what I mean? But in some cases, there might have been some, you know, loitering, just get some footage done and go. But going inside, oh yeah, and I'll say another thing too that's really dangerous. Yes, there are people that fell through roofs. I saw documentaries like you ever see on a History Channel, that a speculative series that life after people with buildings, what happens in buildings. Well, even separately, there was about Detroit, all the old factories that made the cars. Drain pipes are taken away by scrappers, and people that explored a lot of that stuff, you know, like nature's trying to take it over. And when water and weather damage has a tendency to weaken certain structures roof-wise, it feels like you could walk on it, could just fall, cave in out of nowhere. But if you still got this far in this video, it was a neighborhood where I used to live. It used to be thriving steel mill city and town, right? And a friend of me and my partners told me about this, and I don't know how we didn't miss it on the news. Not everything misses TV news, but there were a couple of old buildings that were still standing. They managed to tear a few of them down because of blight, but evidently there are different people that go in them that are not, you know, YouTuber explorers, like everything from the homeless dope heads or heroin addicts and crackheads that go inside buildings, right? And there are supposedly a particular building we were told about that people would go in there for squat and do their drugs, and evidently somebody was by there, a smell in there for some weird reason, and they found a body in there. Some woman was dead for a long time, fell through the floor. I mean, you get impaled by different debris, land somewhere and just fall through a floor and be dead, because water deterioration has a tendency to something could feel sorry to walk, something could feel like it's solid enough to walk on and just cave in all of a suddenly without warning. And if you're the only one in there, or if there's only two of you in here, and if there's only, say, two, even three of you or four of you, you're standing in the same spot that can cave in, you can all four wind up dead. You know, it happens. So there is a risk, along with getting arrested, there is a risk factor. It says, yeah, I love the exploring with videos, and like I said, that there's this one that made the news. I'm not saying these were bad people. There's things that they could have done better. They were put in a light of, shooting bow and arrows, the old relics. That's acting like overgrown children. It's not really interesting to me. I would rather keep it as a informative exploring. Wow, this used to be this, look at this, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was also a fan of a lot of the other exploring videos, whatever risks people may have took to go in there, which may be dangerous. The old insane asylums, hospitals, any lore or legend that something paranormal might happen, or whether it's paranormal or not. Anybody who mysteriously died there, if there's some alleged paranormal story about people claiming whether you believe in that or not, you know, is there any kind of paranormal legend or urban legend along with it, go talk about it. No childish, like what I understand that there was like things that a lot of us did as kids. We were some place that we could have got killed in, right? We were kids once and did silly things, you know. I mean, I get that, but when you're a grown person and not a child that did things like that, right? You know, I don't think that's good on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, there are more risks now. A lot of people, even though, yeah, they're looking for people now that yeah, it actually said on our news. Yeah, I'm pausing in my speech because yeah, there's some trying to access some footage here that I was want to tell you about here. Yeah, it is on RTV News anyway that they're actually Googling and looking for YouTube videos now of, in my ear, people that to see if you're going in somewhere so they can prosecute you now. I mean, which is, but I do believe, even though there are people that did a lot of the stuff that I actually like a lot, that they might have went in there on permission, but there's still stuff I like a lot. But I do want to see more of this stuff. I mean, I would like to see more people get the permission, the proper permission to do this stuff. I mean, I want some of them exploring videos to still be done. I don't really want to see them go away. I would like to see, as long as it ain't too dangerous, for certain people to get the permission. You know, I mean, I don't want to see the videos go away. You can only do so many YouTube channels of some stuff. But I would like to see more people actually get the permission and all that. But I think the reason why they don't, there's a lot of stuff that the weather kind of wore away a lot of things, and in a lot of cases too, even if you don't fall through a floor, there's something probably in the ceiling somewhere that will fall on you. But yeah, it's what I want to call it, a double-edged sword. I'm not against it. I mean, I want to see it done right, you know, no throwing rocks through things like children. I want to see those people doing videos like that, or things like it. I definitely don't want to see anybody get killed either, you know what I mean? But yeah, but what I've seen on like documentaries about how buildings are deteriorating, you know, from television documentaries, you know, everything about Detroit. I mean, there's a lot of wonderful channels I've seen about people are talking about, you know, like whole towns that they're going, that are actually, you know, have huge amounts of abandoned houses and everything. Yeah, I love the stuff, absolutely. But I'd rather go into in ending this, I would rather see the mysteriousness, the adventurousness. I don't want to see people doing stupid shit like children. It's not entertaining to me. Well, I don't want to see anybody get arrested or prosecuted. I don't want to see anybody get killed either. Definitely not. I mean, that's just my intake on it, you know what I mean? Intake. That's my input. I don't know why I had intake in my head, because, yeah, subconsciously went in my head, though. I said intake by mistake because I was talking about the stuff I take in and watch. So I ain't doing the video all over again. I'd rather do like, I think I learned that off of other YouTubers, just a quirky way of correcting myself rather than doing the whole damn video over. Fuck it. But yeah, you get the idea.